Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 20, and I'm happy to say that today we got some shirts. You know, what's your why? Today I'm not really discussing my why, as you guys have all known, but first and foremost, I want to say cheers. I got a beer from Spindle Tap Brewery. It's a double IPA. So, cheers. Ooh, that's good. I want to just kind of give a little rundown and tell you thank you. It's my 20th episode, and I really appreciate it. This one's going to kind of be brief because I kind of want to just talk about camaraderie. I've been running into people who were prior military. I've been having different conversations. I've met with a former commander, with some friends, with former colleagues, and never goes out of style. Like, the camaraderie that you have for each other is just phenomenal, and I really appreciate that. Talking to my former commander, he had nothing but great things to say about, his time in the military. Of course, there was good times and bad times, but I'm gonna have an interview with him soon, and we're gonna discuss quite a bit. So I hope you stay tuned to that one. This week I should have 2, maybe 3 interviews, and dive down into a first sergeant, a former first sergeant, and then somebody else who was also did a long career in the military. But yeah, this was just a brief thing to just say, hey, let you guys know that I really appreciate you guys. I see the trends. It's my videos trending. I also see that that you guys are liking and sharing, and I'm gaining a little bit more followers, and I appreciate that. The premise of this one was talk about camaraderie. It's unparalleled to anything else that I can ever imagine. If you discuss with anybody in any industry, you're not going to get the same type of feel that you do in the military. And it's great because we all do take care of each other. We all joke and talk shit about each other, but it's like a brotherhood. I mean, it is a brotherhood. And, when you're together with other like-minded military members, you can rag on each other, you can talk shit to each other, but when somebody else talks shit to you, or when somebody else starts some shit, it doesn't fly that way. We really defend each other, and I think I've said it before. With military members, it's you talk shit to their face, but when they leave the room, you're like, that dude's a fucking badass motherfucker. Usually, about 90% of the time, and that's a good thing, because that's what we need to do. We need to take care of each other. So I really appreciate that we do have that. I was just I took my kids on vacation, and I was in a resort, and I was able to sit down and have a drink at the bar, and there was a guy that was prior Navy. He was a fucking seaman, or whatever the fuck you want to call him, and we sat there bullshitting for about 3 hours. Him and one of the other bartenders were like, here, take another shot. You're fucking former military. I don't want to hear you bitching. Here, take another shot. And it just kept going. I think they poured like 6 different shots for me. And I was like, dude, I'll pay. And he's like, nah, man. He's like, I don't get this type of conversation when normal customers are here. But it's just one of those things, and I feel like we gravitate to each other. We see each other. We know exactly who the fuck we are because of our demeanor, of our stature, of our, what we wear, how we present ourselves. A lot of normal people who have a lot of tattoos aren't gonna, you're gonna pay attention. You're gonna be like, oh, he's just a, regular guy. But with military, you definitely see distinctive tattoos that kind of highlight who they are, and then you just kind of gravitate. Hey, where did you serve? What'd you do? Blah blah blah. And it's always the same thing, and it's great. It's absolutely great to feel that and to see that. So, thank you. Thank you to Andy, who was my bartender and hooked it up. You know, I mean, I don't know if he was trying to get me drunk and just, you know, whatever, but hey, we don't tell, right? Don't ask, don't tell. Oh, wait, that's already gone. But, and then, you know, just a couple weeks ago, I had dinner with a couple of friends that I hadn't seen in, God, years. One of them I hadn't seen in 14 years. And he'll eventually be somebody that I interview on this podcast. Great guy. He didn't know his way after the military, and as you know, we've talked and I've had these conversations before. A lot of people don't realize that you do lose your identity, and you tend to forget certain things, and you tend to be lost. You're lost in your own little mindset. And he told me that there was people that should have probably helped them, but it was kept hush hush in a secret. And I'll let him finish that, you know, whenever we discuss. But it is true. I had to do a lot of research to get a lot of, you know, a lot of the information that I found out. I mean, there's so much information out there. From, and I'm just going to throw this out there, from getting a divorce, the GI Bill is not communal property, just for those individuals that are still in, who don't understand and they're going through a divorce. It is absolutely not communal property, so it cannot be divided into, you know, the spouse gets X amount. Not at all. There's actually Congress had passed something, excuse me, a statute that states that. So do your homework. And vocational rehab. Vocational rehab is a fucking wonderful thing where you can get a degree and not have to worry about tapping your GI Bill. Especially if I think it's just 20 or 30%. If you're disabled, you can use that. And these are the type of things that this builds, and this camaraderie. You know, we talk to each other, we let each other know, like, hey, this is what this is what that is. I mean, he taught me a few things. If you're in and you get injured and you're severely injured, you know, it's not SGLI, it's like I think he said MGLI or something, where if you're injured and, you know, it's a severe injury or something, you can actually get money back off of it. I wish I would have known, because even surgeries, you can get some form of compensation for that. Damn, do I wish I would have fucking known. My buddy got a huge chunk of change. But it's those resources that we need to talk about, you know. I constantly preach, you know, suicide awareness and making sure you have those resources readily available. If you're if you're struggling, or if you're depressed, anxious, call somebody, talk to somebody. Call the Veterans Affairs Hotline. These are the type of things that I like talking about, because it does bring that awareness. And people need to understand, and people need to know the signs. I mean, people know when I'm fucking depressed. People have seen when I'm depressed, and you know, they constantly reach out or constantly talk to me, and I really appreciate that. I mean, I've gone through some pretty hard times because of certain people. So I want to say thank you. Cheers to that, you know. But keep that camaraderie alive. You know, there's always people that you can reach out to. Always old military friends that you can hit up and do that. This is why this is one of my whys, is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it, you know, kind of releases, you know, some of the stress that I have. It kind of gives me a therapeutic aspect, and it also, you know, somebody else sees it, likes it, you know, can relate to it and understand, and then just know that I've been through some hard shit. I got over it. I'm not fully over it, but, you know, I mean, I worked through it. I still see a counselor. I still, you know, deal with that. So please get some help. And this is what this is all about. You know, what's your why? Part of my why is I want to give back to a community where we need to take care of each other, because sometimes, you know, the powers that be don't take care of us. And I know it goes through the wickets of Congress and everything else, but, you know, we should take care of each other. You know, MA22, I really appreciate my buddy. hitting me up saying, hey, let's do some kind of collaboration. And that's what it takes, is just a little bit of collaboration, because I challenge you guys. I mean, I buy a shirt, I'm sending 15% to them. It's $4 for every shirt that I sell that goes to them. So right now I got an order, or I purchased 100 shirts, $400 is going to go to them. Come on, let's make this happen. And it's not that, like I said, I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to help other people out. But if you just want to donate to them directly, there's going to be other charitable events that I have, where I bring somebody on and say, hey, this is what they're taught, this is what they do, this is what they're up to, this is where it needs to go. And I'm going to reach out to people and do this and interview them and interview their why, because they continually help. So why not, But, I do want to say, like I said in the beginning of this quick podcast, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys liking, sharing, commenting. Erin, I really appreciate you getting on, and she started her own little podcast as well. I don't know the name, but I will figure it out and I will put it on my page, and that way she can get some notoriety as well. But she's starting her own little thing about being a woman in aviation and aircraft mechanic. And that's very important. That is very important, because she brings that different aspect. It's a man's world, and she even talks about it. And shout out to you, Erin. I really appreciate it for sitting here and letting me know, or letting us know what it's like. Let me get you that name, because it's on her page. But she did tag me on my Facebook page. With her saying that. It's, what is that? Oh God, please, but I'll get to it and I'll post it on there. It's just, she has that aspect of, hey, this is why I did this, or this is what's going on. And she's actually liking it a lot. Real life vet talk 2024. And, it's Erin Clark Jacobs. And she talks a lot about what she went through, where she's been, one of her podcasts talks about the smells of Kandahar, or what's that smell. We all know those. We've all, those of us that have deployed overseas, all get certain smells and certain feel. Those of us who are aircraft mechanics know what jet fuel is, know what exhaust is, know what, God, I mean, we could go on and on. Or BHAF. BHAF. She actually has something about epoxy, like we just know what this stuff is, or the burn pits, But this is what we need to do. We need to take care of each other, Real Life Vet Talk 2024 is Erin, and rightfully so. She deserves to be on this platform as well. So shout out to Erin. Shout out to everybody else who's hit me up and said, hey, thank you, I appreciate it, and you're doing a good job. One of my friends, Chris Hartman, he was my flight chief, and he did a little shout out, sent me a little thing. He loves what I'm doing, so I really, really, really appreciate that. Rory Thomas, you're in the PI. I'm sorry, but you weren't the first one in the PI. Sorry. San Augustine, Joe, thank you. But keep this up. If you want to do a virtual, we can do a virtual. Give me a shout. Let me know in the comments. Like, share, comment that you want to do this, and we'll sit, halfway around the world having this conversation. You have a beer, I have a beer, and then we just go from there. And it's a wonderful thing. This is the beauty of technology now. But again, please support if you can. I'm not asking for much. I mean, I just bought some T-shirts from a place out there at Luke that was selling T-shirts for $32. The price of everything is going up. $27 isn't that bad, and I'm doing something for charity. I'm doing something for other people, so that way we can get them taken care of. So I appreciate it, guys. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to the 20th episode, and many more to come. I mean, I have many more interviews this week. I'm going to be doing 2 or 3, and let's have fun. Let's drink some beer and talk some shit and fucking talk about real world shit, real life. Just know that I am also going to be doing topics, and anytime you guys want to bring something up, my friend Josh is going to be here doing topics with me as well. So let's enjoy. Talk to you soon. Love you guys. Like, share, comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Love you guys.